Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Give some people some time to tap in. We're gonna have a good one tonight. There's a lot going on. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it correctly. There's a lot going on, and we're gonna get into it. Give some people some time to tap in and check in. There's a lot going on. We're gonna do this. And like I said, we're gonna do it correctly. Give some people some time to come on in so we can get to it. Hope everybody's doing good on this Friday night, evening, morning, wherever you tapping in from. I appreciate you for checking in and tapping in with me. The love is highly appreciated. Keep it coming. Definitely make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Give it to the 5 minute mark and we're going to get it in. Like I said, it's a lot going on. A lot going on. And we got to start talking about these conflicts and some resolutions. Like resolving some of these issues. I know a lot of people don't believe issues could be resolved without screaming, yelling, violence, or it could be resolved. It's a lot of ways to resolve things. Okay, so first and foremost, shout out to all my wise warriors. I appreciate you guys for checking in, for tapping in. Appreciate all the love, the support, and stay motivated and stay encouraged. And keep coming back for the videos. I got you guys, and we're going to do what we do. I'm always self motivated. However, it's gratifying to see. And when I find out that some of my videos or some of my work have an impact in people's lives. So keep that support coming in. I appreciate it. It's needed. I'm definitely going to make sure I keep pushing the energy out for you guys. Keep pushing these videos for you guys too. So yeah, okay. So it's time to start working on some conflict resolutions. Conflict happens. It's time to resolve them though. You just keep going on and on and on. You know, allowing something or someone to always penetrate your peace or penetrate your happiness or get under your skin over something not important or immaterial, meaning it don't mean anything. And getting deep into it, majority of the times, we as people know that and see that. But the ego and the pride get so hurt so quickly and it's so fragile. That's how come certain people let these situations keep going on. And some other people perpetuate it because they understand they can get under someone's skin or someone's ego or pride is that fragile and they can say and do certain things. And now they like, all right, I got this person upset or I'm gonna get this person heated. And that's just to get under someone's skin. That's just to perpetuate the problem, to keep that ongoing cycle of arguments, yelling, unnecessary tension, friction, drama. And not only that, some people like to bait people win with you a punk, or you ain't about that life, or you ain't gangster. What is that? Being a gangster or being about that life? What is that really? It doesn't really make a point, doesn't really have a principle. And if it has a meaning, why not let it set a precedent in your own life, being a gangster towards yourself? You know what I'm saying? Being aggressive with yourself to keep your peace of mind. or to take it into a corporate mind frame when it comes to business, or when it comes to education, or when it comes to hygiene. When it comes to reading books, when it comes to science, technology, not when it comes to fighting, shooting, stabbing, wanting to unalive and prove a point. There's no point to prove. Like I always say, I challenge myself. I'm at war with me. I'm not at war with nobody else. I'm at war with myself. I don't have a discrepancy with any man or woman or anybody moving around. I have a discrepancy with me because I got to work on being a better version of myself. See, the more I work on becoming a better version of myself, the more I'm walking and standing in and for my purpose. Now, to me, that's being gangster. That's being about that life because I'm walking and standing in and on my purpose. And I'm not going to allow something that's beneath me or immaterial to stop me from standing or walking in my purpose. People not going to like me. So what? People not going to like my ways. So what? I know I'm not intentionally doing anything or saying anything to get someone else upset. So why do I care? I'm going to say that again. I'm not saying or doing anything to intentionally get someone upset or disrespect anyone or ruffle anyone's feathers. So I don't care. And it's not that I don't care about other people. I just don't care about things like that because it's minute, meaning it means nothing at all. It means nothing. It means nothing. It's minute. It don't serve no purpose for me to be going back and forth. Somebody think I'm less of a man or person than them. That's their perspective. I got to keep it moving. I got things I got to do. However, for me to stand there and go back and forth and yell and scream and prove a point to them, I gotta keep it moving. They believe I don't know enough and they're not looking to help me get more education or spread more love and teach me things. I gotta keep it moving. But to go back and forth, I'm not mad at them. I'm just not gonna do it. They could do whatever that's best for them. Me, I ain't doing that. I got other things going on in my life than to have an issue about something that's minute. And again, it could be huge to someone else. Long as I know for a fact that I didn't say anything or do anything to harm or hurt them or disrespect them, I don't care if they want to argue with me about things that I see, things that I experience, or things that I've went through. I'm not gonna go back and forth. And I don't have an issue with them. I'm just not going through that in my life. I got other things that's going on. And that's how you start to avoid conflict by ignoring things, walking away from things, And yeah, I get it. Some people still be going in, they still be antagonizing you, or they still be poking the bear. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. It should really teach you and show you how weak they are, because they're going to keep it going. You show she strength is actually walking away. Strength ain't actually standing in it and keep it going and going back and forth. Nah, strength is walking away, leaving. Yeah, I get it. Oh, you scary, or you don't want smoke and you ain't about that life. No problem. No problem. I got other things I got to do. I got to show myself I'm about the life of succeeding. I'm about the life of progression. I'm looking to be a corporate gangster, not a street one, not an internet one. I'm going to say that again. I'm looking to be a corporate gangster, not a street gangster. I'm looking to be an intellectual gangster, not a fashion gangster, because I don't want to go back and forth about something that don't mean nothing to me. And now I'm arguing because somebody sees something in me. Not saying it's not important, but it have nothing to do with my growth or my progression. I'm gonna say it again. I'm not saying what others may see in me may not be important, but it have nothing to do with my growth or my progression. And my growth and my progression is highly important. Highly important. Everyone's situation and circumstances is different. Yes, someone can see something in me that I might not see in myself and want to give me constructive criticism. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir or ma'am. I appreciate that. But, or however, for me to go back and forth about it, I got something I got going on. I got things to do. And I'm not saying that the next man or woman is not important. I'm saying to go back and forth about nonsense is not important. I'm not here to be liked or loved. I gotta like and love myself. Whoever else don't, no problem. They don't have to. They don't have to do that. I love and like myself. I appreciate myself. I got to keep going and growing though. Because once I stop and get caught up in something with someone else that's not about anything, that's minute, it don't have no meaning, no validity, I gotta keep moving. Because I don't have anything to prove anyone but myself. I gotta prove to me that I could keep growing and keep going. Stopping, that's about stagnation. I ain't about stagnation. I ain't mad. I ain't hating. I don't have no problems, nothing like that. But stopping, I ain't gonna stagnate myself, because now I gotta thank me for stopping myself. That's why I always say this. When you walk away from anything and anybody and they walk up on you or come up on you, that's defending yourself. However, when you go back and forth and engage in it, that's not defending yourself. That's just going back and forth. So when you leave the situation alone, like yo, have a blessed day or stay blessed, or I appreciate it, but I gotta go. You can't control their ego and their pride or how they're gonna see you or feel about you. That don't matter. I had to do with the people that I had great relationships with. And I was thankful that I did do that, because I was able to avoid an unnecessary conflict. And it might not have been them getting at me or me getting at them. It could have been a third party that instigate the situation now. So it might not be me and that person directly, It may be a third party person or a fourth party person or just a group of people that could instigate the situation. And now it done got worse than it probably would have never been because other people spoke on it or said something about it. And now they able to spin the situation. And somebody ego and pride got in the way. So when you start to work on conflict resolutions, first and foremost, with yourself, when you coach yourself, when you teach yourself, see the thing that I see about conflict that's funny to me, that's humorous to me, some people don't like being dictated to when it comes to the police or when it comes to law enforcement. I have no issue with that. However, why you not policing yourself? Why you not checking yourself? See, I learned that. Shit, I don't want to listen to law enforcement or the police. All right, check myself though. Let that voice go from my head like, yo, leave this alone. It ain't gonna turn out well for you. Even if I believe or see it as if I have the upper hand in the situation, I'm still looking at it. I don't want to risk anything because my ego or my pride or someone else told me how less of a person that I was. Or despite how much I may think I'm a better person, prove that I'm a better person by keep going and keep growing. I'm gonna say it again. Show myself that I'm a better person by keep going and keep growing. But to keep going back and forth, for what? For what? For ego, for pride? Oh, I'm gonna show you what type of man I am. I'm not gonna show, I'm gonna show myself what type of man I am. But to show someone else that, from my understanding, it makes me foolish. Again, it's not a knock on anyone or anything else, but I have to show me things constantly. I challenge myself every day. Because when I challenge others and I let others challenge me, it got me in unwarranted situations with family, with friends, with jobs. It led to me being arrested. It led to me having court cases. And I had to really think back on it. But yo, you put yourself in this. Even if other people's were or other people were involved, I still had to blame me because should I had self-control, self-restraint, self-awareness, I wouldn't have went through these situations. Self-confidence, self-esteem, I wouldn't went through these situations. Because now when the other people say, yo, you let such and such talk to you like that, you let such and such do that to you, man, you soft, or man, you weak, or man, you this. And it's like, all right, so now my ego got in the way. And I could have just told those people, that's how you see that. I got other things going on in my life right now. So for me, it's like, I gotta leave this alone. Carla in the building, what's going on, sis? Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you. So I had to really understand conflict resolution is a thing that needs to be worked on. It needs to be worked on. It needs to be addressed. See, I see a lot of things. And when I see things, it's so many excuses. And certain people stop looking at the core of the situation. Hey, what's going on? Thank you for tapping in, bro. I appreciate you. Like they stop looking at the core. No problem, bro. They stop looking at the core of the situation. Like, so if something go down, they'll say, well, this happened because of the person culture or nationality. Like culture and nationality may be a part of it. That may be a part of it, but that's not totally what's going on. Self-awareness, self-accountability, self-restraint, self-respect. That is bigger than someone's culture. That's bigger than someone's culture. Self-respect, self-awareness, self-accountability, self-confidence, self. See, the thing about conflict and conflict resolution, some people only like doing self-preservation when they don't want to get along with other people. So it's like, you know what? When it's time to compete or it's time to battle, now we gonna do self-preservation. When it's time to make a fashion statement, now self-preservation is important. When it's time to, prove we got more money than somebody else, self-preservation, self-awareness now. But when that ego kick in a conflict, I don't want to back down because I know I ain't no punk. I know I ain't scary. It's not about that. What about preserving yourself? What about being intelligent or being smart? It's not about that. Preserving yourself for another day, another hour, another week, another month, another year. It's about being intelligent. Like, know what? I got to think smarter than this. What about that? Like, what about that? Being more adaptable in the situation, if that's a word, adaptable, if that's a word, or being able to adapt, or being able to adjust. So being able to adjust, like, you know what? Nah, I'm just have to adjust to how things are right now. That's no problem. Before I want to change the world or better the world, I got to better me. Like, you know what I'm saying? But for me to be arguing with people, people got their beliefs. People gonna say what they gonna say. They gonna do what they gonna do. I'm gonna stay out the way, not say nothing, and mind my business. Now, if I'm asked something, that's different. But I'm not gonna just jump out the window and speak on something or someone's situation or things that's going on, trending topics. I have nothing to do with me. I'm a trending topic, meaning things I do is trendy. So that's why I talk about life all the time, like what I'm doing today, conflict resolutions. That's about having and being able to resolve situations in life. And that's important. We all gonna go through conflict. What's the how you gonna resolve it? Everything shouldn't be a shouting match, a screaming match, a curse somebody out match, a violent match. It should be like, you know what? I went through this. Okay, even though I was 100% right, I'm gonna apologize. I know who I really am. I can apologize. That person don't want to accept it. You did your part. Tell them have a blessed day and keep it moving. Keep going back and forth though. What is that about? Like, what is it about? Like, what is really going on? To be back and forth and like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna show this person who I really am. Ah, you losing yourself. I spoke about that. Don't lose yourself looking to keep loving people or keeping to prove something to other people. Stay focused. Stay focused. Don't lose yourself. Stay focused. Like, don't lose yourself. Like, I'm going to show this person who I really am. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do that. No, no problem, my friend. You're very welcome. You know who you are. Stand and walk in and on your purpose. And see, another thing that I appreciate about when you on your purpose and in your purpose, you're going to keep moving because you understand that conflict will happen. See, the thing that's funny about conflict though, it's not about avoiding it. It's about having a resolution for it when it appears and it arrives, because it's gonna happen. That don't make people bad people, and it don't make you a good person for wanting to avoid it. You just gotta have your thinking cap on to be able to resolve things. And the more you work on it, the more comfortable you'll be. We're looking forward to resolving things. Because if nobody is looking to resolve conflict, it's going to always be a problem. It's going to always be a problem. That's why I got my other statement. When you doing business, nothing's personal. And when you taking things personal, you ain't going to never be able to do business. That's why I step into situations from a business perspective. So nothing nobody says or does, I could take personal. So I keep that mentality when I'm doing something. This business, it ain't personal. Because if I'm taking it personal, how am I going to be able to conduct business? And who's going to want to conduct business with me? Nobody. I understand that I won't be able to deal with too many people. So I ain't worrying about that. I'm worrying about being able to do business and don't take anything personal and live my life. I got to keep dealing with ego and pride. How am I living my life? I won't be able to do that because I'll let things stop me from living. So I'm going to keep my mind sharp and crisp and understand that conflict will happen. Where's the resolution? It's easy to scream and yell and shout and look to prove nothing to nobody. For me to be like, oh, I ain't no punk, I ain't scary, I ain't man, that's my ego telling me that. I know that, but why do I have to prove it though? It's always going to be somebody bigger and badder. That's just life. Same way with money. It's always going to be somebody with more money. It's going to be somebody with less money. That's life though. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for tapping in. If you didn't subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. Yeah, so you got an avatar. Um, where you tapping in from? Like, let me know where you tapping in from. And let me know if you're a male or female. So yeah, like I was saying, you gotta stay focused on your path, on your journey. Always having a conflict and it ends in violence. How smart is that? Like how, like how intelligent is that? Everything ends in a shouting match, a yelling match, a screaming match, a violent match. Somebody wanting to pull up or wanting to harm or hurt, or they got to prove how much of a man they really are, how much of a woman they really are, and it's leading into violence. And then it boils down to, oh no, I was attacked, or it boils down to self-defense, or it boils down to mental health, or it boils down to something that could have been avoided before all those other excuses kick in. It could have been avoided. Walk away. See, when you walk away again and somebody walk up on you, that's self-defense. But if you're going back and forth with someone, you get into a heated shouting match or a heated debate, somebody ego or pride or emotions will get in the way. Just like the other thing I say, when emotions is high, logic is low. When emotions is high, logic is low. So I like to keep my logic high. I look to do that because I get it. It's like, damn, all I had to do was think. Like, the more I matured in life, I started to get older and I was blessed to get older. And I used to look back on situations. I'm like, man, that could have been avoided. I let my ego or my pride or my emotions or my attitude or whatever get in the way. And in some of those situations, I could have been 100% right. That's not the point. The point is that I perpetuated it by going back and forth with the other person. That's the issue. If I would have left it alone, it don't matter what they gonna continuously do. I'm gonna leave it alone. So I'm glad that I'm at that point where now I'm gonna leave it alone. I can't worry about what somebody else will or won't do. I'm gonna leave it be. I'm gonna walk away from it. So it don't matter how much they looking to challenge me. I'm gonna leave it alone. Like I'm gonna leave it be and be like, you know what, man, I'm gonna leave this alone. And that's important when you get to a certain point in your life, when you really about peace, when you really about harmony, you're gonna be like, man, I am leaving this alone. Because getting into something, what is it really gonna prove though? What is it really gonna prove? How much of a man you are? How much of a woman you are? What is it really gonna prove? Like I said, defending yourself and proving things is two different things. You def- we all can defend ourselves. We all ain't gotta prove nothing though. For those who want to prove things, let them do that. But defending yourself, no, you obligated to do that for yourself. Defend yourself in every situation. But proving something about nothing. You're a man. You ain't got to prove how many women you could get. Just get them. You ain't got to prove how much money you make. Keep getting it. You ain't got to prove how much clothes you got. Just rock your clothes. Wear your clothes. But don't wear them and say, look, I got this, I got that. You ain't got to do that. You ain't got to show off your footwear or your shoe wear. You ain't got to do that. That's why I say I'm in competition with myself because I'm on my own path and I'm on my own journey. But I'm not looking to compete against anyone. It's gonna always be somebody with more. There's gonna always be somebody doing better. So now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be mad at that. So when I want to talk crap about how much clothes and shoes and money I got, now somebody got more than me. So now what I'm gonna do? My ego and pride gonna be hurt because they got more than me. So I gotta work on things to get better for me. So I'm not gonna go through that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Just be like, you know what? All right, that's how they see it. No problem. Because I'm not gonna allow my own ego and pride to get in the way. I really love myself. I really appreciate me. So I'm not gonna let those things get in the way. Somebody think I'm less than whatever they saying. I don't want to control anyone else thinking anyway. Let them think that, no problem. However, they really could control me. Should I believe I gotta prove it? They in control. Because now I gotta prove it. They really in control. Because I'm going all out to prove something to them. It's like, damn, I gotta go all out to prove this. Man, they really getting the best of me. They literally getting the best of me. Because I'm going all out to prove to them how much money I got, what type of car I got, how many women I got, or how my woman look, or what type of father I am. I ain't proving that. And they think I'm less than a man or a father, or I don't got clothes or whatever. No problem. No, no problem. That's gonna get me in a conflict. And when you get in a conflict, the thing that a lot of people don't have is resolution skills. They're not coming up with a way to stop this from going further than it have to go. Sticks and stones break bones. Words should never hurt. Sticks and stones break bones. Words should never hurt. Once somebody tell you how they really see you or how they really feel, accept it and keep it moving. So now you ain't got to double back. You ain't got to double back no more. It's like, oh, I'm glad they told me you ain't got to double back no more. You be like, all right, now I know how they see me, where I stand in their life. Be humble and be happy. They told you. You're like, no, I'm glad they told me. So that's one less person now you got to worry about having an issue with because they told you. Don't go back and be like, well, I never cared about you, or you dirty, or you broke. That's child's play. Like really grow up and be the adult that you saying you are. Really grow up and be the king you say you are. Really grow up and be the queen you say you are. Leave that alone. Be like, all right, you know what, no problem. Being a king is a mind frame. However, it's not about the clothes or your money or your jewelry or your car. No, it's really a mind frame. It's really a mentality thing. You're gonna have some people that don't like you. So what? You're going to have some people that's going to try to hold you back. So what? It's not personal. Like I said, because when you're doing business, nothing's personal. And if you're taking everything personal, how you going to be able to do business? So I take nothing personal. When I first got on YouTube and I would drop pre-recorded videos, even some live videos, I had people attack my character. I wasn't mad at those people. I never got back at them. Like I never got on my platform and made videos back and put their name and caption. Like, what am I doing? Like they get the best of me by me doing that. Because now we're gonna go back and forth about something that's minute. It don't mean anything. Even if they knew me on that level, it still don't mean anything. See, when you working on resolutions, you're gonna do anything to keep your peace. Anything to do that. Whatever it take, you're gonna do whatever it take to keep your peace. Don't matter. You're gonna be like, man, I ain't going through that. I'm trying to keep my peace. Man, I'm good. And of course, people gonna say something. Oh, you ain't about that. Oh, you scary. Oh, you a punker. No problem. You gonna be the man or the woman that lived to tell a story, or you gonna be the man or woman that the people telling the story about because you no longer here to speak about what happened, or you locked up and you ain't coming back for some years to speak about it. Because that's how the scenario go. You gonna be resting in peace or memory of, or you just gonna be living your life peacefully and you don't have to remember none of those things because you left it alone. I'm I'm thankful the more I was maturing, I left things alone. I came back around certain situations and circumstances. People's like, yo, remember that day you left? This happened. I'm like, wow, okay. Like, wow, that did happen? Yeah, that happened. All right. I hope they get it together, but I'm not gonna speak ill will towards the person that it may have happened to or the people that may have even did it or caused the pain. Because when you really, really getting into your peace of mind, you're gonna have resolutions for yourself. You're gonna be like, man, I gotta look to resolve this for me. Like I said, there's been situations where I've been 100% right, or I was correct, but I still double back and apologize to people. Not for them, for me, for my peace of mind. If they think they was 100% right and I was dead wrong, no problem. No problem. But I know I apologize because I'm at peace with my life. I'm at peace with where I'm going. Whatever they think and believe or feel, no problem at all. They like, yeah, he took 5 years to apologize, or he took 5 minutes to apologize, or he took a month, or whatever they saying. He knew he was wrong. No problem. Sometimes you gotta do things for yourself. You gotta resolve things for you. You gotta resolve things for you. Can't always think about resolving something for other people. You gotta think about resolving it for you, so you don't have headaches, so you don't have stress attacks and anxiety and all this other unnecessary stuff because you're trying to concede to somebody else's ego. And then when you do that, your own ego and your own pride get in the way. And somebody's gonna always tell you what's best for you. Somebody gonna it's easy for me to get on here and tell somebody what's best for them. I'm giving people information based off my experiences and my life. If it applies to them and it can help them, I'm thankful. But if it don't, it's not personal. It's not personal. However, I know this though. When some people do implement some of the things I say, some people have came back and told me, yo, nah, what you said though, I really paid attention to it. And I was working on it and I applied it to certain aspects of my life and it helped. So what that do for me, that just reassured the information that I gathered, the experiences that I shared. And now make me dive a little deeper into those situations or scenarios because maybe it can help someone else or help that person further. So that's humbling for me. That's humbling for me. However, for me to go back and forth, it's like, what? For what? I know me. So I don't have to worry about who think they do or think they don't or assume it. People been around people 20, 30 years and they do things somebody didn't even, yeah, I was around them for 30 years. I didn't know they would do that. So that's why it's important to have and to come up with ways to resolve things for yourself. Because you may think or believe you know somebody and you really don't know them. To go even deeper, sometimes people don't even know themselves. They still finding themselves. Age don't have anything to do with that. We may say, well, they 35 or she 45 or he's 60. He did. So what that mean? Age don't have nothing to do with that. Mentality is key. Self-respect, self-awareness, self-esteem, self-confidence. That's relevant. But just to assume because of someone's age that they at a certain point with maturity, they not. That's what's going on. See, another thing that need to be worked on when you're talking about resolving things, validation. See, a lot of people look for validation from other people. And that's how come some people have conflict because they looking for validation. They looking for someone to like them or to like their videos or to like what they post on the internet or to like their outfit or to like how they look or to like what they do. Me, I don't care about none of that because it means nothing. Because if I don't like it, what's the point? If I don't appreciate it, what's the point? So that causes more conflict because some people are looking for other people to approve of them, what they do, how they dress, what they eat, where they go, who they hang out with, who they be around. Me, I don't care about none of that. And that right there avoids conflict because when somebody likes something, it's gratifying. When somebody don't like something, no problem. No problem. It's not going to change my perspective. If somebody say, yo, I don't like your attitude. Yo, I don't like what you wear. Yeah, I don't like what you talk about. I don't like what you do. I understand that. No problem. That's how you see it. At least you was honest with me. Have a good day or stay blessed or peace and power. But for me to be like, what? Who you can't tell me you don't like this? I ain't saying none of that because it's just going to take me into an unwarranted situation. It's going to take me in a dark place. And you know what? I'm starting to shine brighter and brighter every day where I'm starting to see my own light. And even if people want to stand in my light just to make a doll or make it them, no problem. I'm not mad at them. However, I'm learning I could keep it moving with my light though. I keep it moving with my light. But see, Conflict to some people is better than nothing. Conflict to some people is better than being by themselves. It's better than being to themselves because that's acceptance to some people. That's validation to some people. It's entertainment to some people. To me, that peace of mind is priceless. That peace of mind to me, priceless. It's all I need. It's all I need. I don't need nothing else. I don't need nothing else. Anything else that come, I appreciate it, but I don't need it. That peace of mind, I need that. That 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 cleanses my soul. It cleanses my soul like damn. Peace of mind. I needed that. Quiet time. I needed that. Not running or rushing to my phone. Not rushing to social media or other apps that's not YouTube. And I'm not rushing forward to YouTube. I'm just saying that's the only thing I'm on. So those other apps don't get my attention. That's another way that I came up for me to resolve conflict because if I'm not on those other websites, how could I have a problem? How can I have an issue? I'm not on those other apps, so nobody could come to me or tell me something that allegedly that I said or did. And even more importantly, they can't come to me and ask me, did I see or hear what was said? I'll be like, nah, you know I don't got Facebook or Meta. You know I don't got Instagram. You know I don't got Snapchat. You know I don't got Twitch or Rumble, whatever. I'll just be on YouTube. And you just can't have a conversation on YouTube. You got to make a video. I mean, people could talk and post, but that's very rare. People do that. So you got to literally do what I'm doing: a live stream, a pre-recorded video, something like that. So for me, that's another way that I came up with a resolution because I don't have those apps and I'm not on those other apps. So now nobody could question me about what did I see, what did I hear, or what did I post, or what did I say, or ask me what I meant by a post or something I said. Because I could be like, what you mean? I ain't on Facebook. And I'm doing what I'm doing with my podcast, but I still don't have Instagram, but I still don't got Facebook or Meta, or I'm still not on Twitter or X or Snapchat or Rumble because, again, I don't want to interact with so many people. This is enough for me right here. This is enough for me. Being on YouTube. That's it. Once I shut YouTube down, ain't no other apps getting my attention. That's it. Once I shut YouTube down, no other websites get my attention. That's humbling for me. I'm thankful. So I ain't gotta be like, you know what, man? Let me check Instagram. Let me check Facebook. Let me check. Nah, I ain't gotta do none of that. I ain't gotta do none of that. Because like I said, I don't want to have to be asked or answer. Did I see something? Did I hear what happened? Or somebody asking me, what did I mean by a picture or by a post? Like I'm saying, what you meant by that? Yo, you tired of people, they fake. It's just like, damn, they got a guilty conscience or something. I'm just, me just observing. I put that now on Instagram, hypothetically speaking, on Facebook, hypothetically speaking. Now I got people that's going to ask me something. It's like, oh my gosh, now I got to answer. Then if I don't answer, or I don't answer the way they believe I should answer, that may turn into an issue. Because they're gonna be like, oh, who you talking about? Me? Who you talking about? My family? You talk? When you talking about your own family, now I got to specify what I meant. And I don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through that. Again, I wouldn't be upset with somebody who asked me that. However, since I'm not on those websites, excuse me, I avoided that conflict. I resolved an issue that I could have brought on myself, and I would have brought it on myself by being on those websites, by being on those apps. And that's how you resolve conflict, by staying away from certain things. Like, I've gotten people that told me now, be glad you ain't on Facebook. Such and such said this, and that. I'd be like, wow, they did? Wow, okay. You know what I'm saying, man? Your Instagram is whack, or this is that. People will always be fronting, or people mad fake. And it's like, wow. And other people have told me that. I didn't ask a question. They told me that because they looking back on the fact that I'm not on it. And it's like, okay. Because I see people that, and we all have that time in life where we may see somebody we haven't seen in some years or for an extended period of time. Or we may go to like a family gathering and this family we ain't see it. They be like, yo, what's up? I don't be seeing you on Facebook. What's your Facebook or what's your Instagram? Be like, nah, I don't got that. Like that happened to me with some family 4-5 years ago. They like, yo, what's up? You got nah. And when I did have Facebook, my dad was sick, and I just did it because it was certain family members that didn't know. So it was really for him, and it was his Facebook because I used his name and I used me and his picture together. And that was just for certain family members to understand that my father was extremely sick now. That's it. And once all of them found out, I got off, deactivated, never looked back. But that was just for that. It wasn't for me to link up with people and nah. And when I did see them family members again, it was like, yo, do you have Facebook with you and your pops? I'm like, yeah, but I did that for my pops because he was sick. I just wanted you and other family members to know that because I know, people going through what they're going through when they at where they at in life. Like a lot of families scattered in various different states and all that in different cities now. So at least if I ask cousin so and so, aunt so and so, uncle so and so for your number, they may not have it. So I created the Facebook for people like, oh, that look like my uncle, or that look like my cousin, or that look like such such such. Let me, and I did that just for certain people to know what his situation was. And if they wanted to know any information, they can get it from his son directly. They don't got to get it from people that might be getting the information from me, and they ain't got to worry about them giving them partial information or twisting the information around. So now they can get it directly from his son. So for me, that was why I did it. And like I said, once they found out, I left it alone. I got off of it. So I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna do this for my pops real quick. And that was that. Like that was it. So that helped me resolve unwarranted issues because I wasn't on it. And like I said, I had tons of things. And whoever out there now also on the playback, if you have any of those websites, let me know if I'm exaggerating that somebody will tell you about something they heard or somebody said or posted on one of those websites and it turned into something it shouldn't turn into. I'm not saying it don't turn into that on YouTube. I'm not saying that. But if you only on YouTube, it might be kind of hard unless you just want to put yourself in a situation and be going back and forth with people. See, me, I don't. It don't matter how I look to other people or someone else. I can't worry about that because it won't look no way if I'm unalive or I'm facing LIFE behind bars or I'm getting 25 with an L in back of it. Like, nah, that's not real. That's not gangster. That's not being a real man. So at the end of the day, I'm looking to avoid and have ways to resolve. It's like I I understand this and see this a lot more clearer. When I had math, which was one of my best subjects, problem solving, problem solving. The same way you could get into the issue is ways you could avoid getting into it, or is ways to come up with ways to resolve it before it get catastrophic. It don't have to get catastrophic because it's not going to prove anything. Well, no, let me take that back. It could prove that you could get unalive and go to jail. Same thing for the other person. It could prove that. Who wants to prove that? Who really wants to prove that? They could go to jail and get unalive for what? For what? To say I'm a real man, I'm a real woman. Look what I did. Who wants to be told what to do by someone else for a day, a month, a week, a year, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years? Who wants to be fed slop? Who wants to argue with a bunch of other men or a bunch of other women over a phone, over food, over mail, over commissary? Who want to do that? Ain't about nothing. Ain't about nothing. And if I'm looked at less than a man for that, I ain't mad at that. Actually, I'm thankful for it because I know I won't be falling victim to being a fool. What's you gonna say on my coffin? Here lies a real man, and I ain't here no more. It should really say here lies a fool because he let his ego and his pride get him into something. Like it ain't about nothing. It ain't about nothing. But I get it. I'm supposed to go back and forth because if I don't, I ain't a gangster. I don't want to smoke. Why do I? Why do I? Who does that solidify something to? It ain't gonna solidify nothing to me. Like I said, well, I gotta prove how much clothes I got, how much money I got, how much food I got, what kind of car I got. Who am I proving that to? I gotta prove that to myself. It's too much other things going on to me to be going back and forth in life with anybody about anything. I gotta keep up with my health. I gotta keep up with my mental health. There's other things that I gotta pay attention to. There's things going on. I gotta worry about what's in the food that I'm eating, what's in the water that I'm drinking. So now I'm supposed to go back and forth about things that don't mean nothing to me. And like I said, as long as I'm not disrespecting nobody or looking to inflict harm on nobody, man, it don't even matter. So I'm learning every day who benefits from conflict. Who? Who's benefiting from it? Who's benefiting from it? And if some people really want conflict on that level, they could sign up for the military. If you really want friction on that level and you really want to be out here playing with guns and ammunition, go to the army. They're going to put guns in your hand. Let me take that back. Let me be specific about that. They're going to teach you how to work that gun. They're going to teach you how to aim. They're going to get you in shape. They're going to let you get it on with the opposition without no problem. They ain't going to stop you from using grenades and none of that. None of that. See, that I would respect a lot more. And no, it's not about fighting for the country. You're about that life. Make it happen. Because if you or whoever could say, yeah, I don't want to fight for the country. Why you want to fight for a block? Why you want to fight for drugs? Why you want to fight for clothes, sneakers, shoes? Why you want to fight for ego? You're intelligent enough to say, man, I would never fight for this country. Why you not intelligent enough to say, man, I ain't fighting for no gang, no set. I ain't fighting for no clothes. I ain't fighting for no shoes. I ain't fighting for that little bit of money. I ain't fighting for drugs. Like, gonna be realistic. Be realistic. Don't be selective about, oh, nah, I ain't gonna fight for this, but I'm gonna fight for that. Are you really? That sound like the ego talking. That sound like pride talking. That's why I'm working on conflict resolution. I ain't worried about going back and forth about nothing. It's a lot of people that I grew up with. They not here no more. They sisters or they mother or they father or they brothers or they cousins or they kids or their grandmother or their grandfather can't say hi to them no more, can't touch them no more, can't call a phone or nothing no more. And what's real about that aspect of it though, the people that said, yo, that's my man or that's my homie, I'ma ride this out forever. They living their life. They forgot about them after 2, 3 years. Max. They ain't worried about them no more. Because they got to live their life now. It's like, man, I'm good off that. They went back to living their life. They probably stuck with them maybe for a year, 2. I'm gonna go 4 max. But after that, nah. Definitely as they start to get older, they're like, nah, man, I gotta raise these kids. Like, yo, dog, I gotta feed my kids. I gotta feed my family. Like, nah. Cause they seeing like, you know what? Man, yo, that could have been me. They might not come out and say it to other people or allow, but it's running through their mind. Yo, that could have been me. And I see it more and more on a daily basis. People, quote unquote, crashing out for nothing. Somebody looked at them funny. Somebody bumped them. Somebody stepped on his shoe. They got into an argument. And it's like, damn. It's like, damn, nobody can't look at nobody. They got into an argument. How they argued about that? Because somebody that was in a situation and say, you know what? My bad. I apologize if I offended you. Or my bad. I didn't mean that way. God bless you. Have a good day. I'm not saying that nothing won't happen. However, you won't know unless you put that to use. I put it to use. It have worked for me in some situations. Not every situation, but some. Some people have said things to me And I'll be like, nah, it's all right, man. Ain't nothing, man. Stay blessed. Have a good day. And they probably was on defense mode when they said what they said. But my response was like, oh, all right, he ain't coming at me like that. All right. And they'd be like, all right, yeah, I appreciate that. You too. And sometimes people have said things to me aggressively, and I'm still like, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing aggressive back. And it ain't about me being scary. It ain't about me being a punk. And it ain't about me being a gangster either. It's about me preserving myself. It's about me preserving myself. That's what it's about. Like, I got to think about being around for the next day, the next hour, the next month, the next week, the next year. It's a war of attrition and nutrition. Who's going to survive? It's easy to be strong amongst the weak. When you're going, for a little bit, some people mourn. I'm going to say it again. It's easy to be strong amongst the weak. When you're going, for a little bit, people mourn. Hmm. Just for a little bit. They don't mourn that long. Mm-mm. Because they got to get their life back on track. And they only mourn for that little bit because they understand the depth, not depth, the depth of how deep life really is. And they know somebody ain't never coming back. So it's like, that'll have them stuck. Depending on how much you meant to them, you probably have them stuck, like I said, 4 years max. But if you ain't mean that much, more and more as the days go, you'll fade out their life. Because like they ain't really mean that much to me anyway. So if they was a real friend or something you grew up with, okay, they probably speak to your family for a minute, but then after that, they probably be like, man, they probably stop saying something to your family, or they probably move out the area or something like, y'all don't even want to live around this no more. It's like, man, I don't want to go through this no more. I'm good. I'm good. Another thing about conflict, I stress this, and I'm gonna always stress this. I can't stress this enough. My pride, my ego, and my opinion don't mean nothing to anyone except for me. My opinion, my pride, and how I feel, which is my emotion, only means something to me. That's why I don't do trending topics. That's why I don't speak about people's lives and people's situations. I speak about life and situations and circumstances that can occur in life. But I don't speak about other people and people's lives unless someone asks me a question. But otherwise, I'm not going to say anything. We all got a life. We all going through situations and circumstances. But I'm not going to do that though. So when you work on solutions, you have a different outlook on circumstance. You like, man, now I got to work on bettering this. And see, the thing that I like about that, I'm not working on bettering it for nobody but me now. I used to be thinking about other people. I'm unable to do that. I got to do it for me. I learned how to leave things alone and walk away from me. And like I said, I could be 100% right. That don't got nothing to do with resolving the issue. I ain't gonna be like, yeah, I told you, man. I was right. You don't listen, you this, you that. Nope. I'm not gonna make or belittle someone to big me up. Because it goes back to that other thing I always say. I came from the bottom of the ocean and I'm climbing up that mountain now. I'm not looking down that mountain to look down on others. I'm looking down on the old version of myself, telling myself, I do not want to be that version of myself any longer. But I'm not looking down that mountain to look down on other people. I'm looking down on the old version of myself, telling myself, you're not going to be that version any longer. And that's what's relevant. That's what's going on. How long you going to keep going through the same old scenarios and cycles and keep telling yourself, man, why I keep going through this? Because you're not working on resolving things for yourself and with yourself. You got to challenge yourself. Like, you know what, man, today it don't matter. Even if it's at work, even if it's at home, wherever it's at, you're going to get those situations. You could be feeding the birds. You're one bird or one pigeon to come and try to take the bread you dropping out or the birds you dropping out for them other birds. What you gonna do? Try to harm that bird, kick at that bird? It's the way you do it. You know that one bird and keep one pigeon keep coming. You throw some breadcrumbs to the side. Watch that bird that wanted to take everything from everybody else. They gonna go over there and eat them other breadcrumbs. And the birds you've been feeding, they gonna stay right there. And that one pigeon to go to the side because that's all that pigeon wanted. They wanted to eat too. And they didn't want to be as patient as those other birds was and wait for you to put it down. They just wanted to come swoop and take it. So if you just put some of that bread or put some of them bird seeds, if you got everything in front of you, put some on the left or the right. The other bird will go to the left or the right and go eat. That's just life. You got supervisors that's like, nah, you can't get the weekend off. All right, no problem. You asked, they told you no, no problem. I can't get this weekend off. All right, what weekend you think I get off then? I'll readjust my plans to the weekend you think I could get off. But to be going back for you, my supervisor a hater. He or she, they be hating on me. They don't never want to give me no weekends off. They just, I'ma just take the weekend off. You know how that supervisor's operating now. You just take that weekend off, you may get into a deeper conflict. But if you come back to supervisor and say, yo, look, what weekend you think I could get off then? It may not have been the weekend you wanted. But if you do that, eventually supervisor be like, yo, I think I have something available a month from now or 2 weeks from now. Be like, all right, thanks, I appreciate it. You got available, let me know. And you rearrange your plans around that. That's all. I understand you didn't get the weekend off that you wanted. I get that. But that don't mean you're not going to get the weekend off. I'm going to say it again. I understand you didn't get the weekend off that you wanted or you was looking forward to. I get that. But you still going to get a weekend off. Unless it's something detrimental or catastrophic, don't worry about it. Because if it's detrimental or catastrophic, you can solidify how come you did it. Paperwork means a lot. Paperwork means a lot. So if something happened, it's like, yo, look, this is why I had to take the weekend off. I had to take a week off or whatever you did, go some paperwork. And it don't matter what that supervisor or that manager or whoever feel, they're going to have to respect it. That's why that old saying is the pen is mightier than the sword. Because you could get paperwork behind it, no matter how much people want to off with your head with the sword, they're going to have to respect that pen. They're going to have to respect that pen. So all you got to do is be patient with yourself. That's why I tell everybody to pace themselves. Do things at their pace. You got to pace yourself, embrace yourself for impact. That's all. You'll be all right. You'll make it through. A lot of things ain't going the way I anticipated in life, and ain't going the way I anticipated with this YouTube thing, with this podcast. But so I'm not going to deviate from who I am for that to happen and to change up the manuscript, because now ain't nothing going to go the way it should go because I changed up my manuscript. It's going to happen. Just keep going and keep flowing and keep growing. Keep going, keep flowing, and keep growing. That's it. It's what you got to do. No, it's like a river or a lake or a stream or ocean. I keep flowing upstream. That's that. I'm going to get there. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. Because again, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. And I also appreciate the fact that nobody have to prove anything to me. That's another way you stay out of conflict. Because you're not trying to prove anything to anybody. You don't want nothing being proven to you. You ain't looking forward to that. You don't want nobody proving nothing to you. You're going to be like, man, I'm good. You don't want nobody proving nothing to you. That's how things happen. Because like I said, you could be looking to resolve something with the person. And now a second or third or fourth party kick in and tell the other person, oh, you're going to let them talk to you like that? Or somebody going to tell you, you're going to let them deal with you like that? And now your ego may say, yeah, you're right. Yo, who you talking to like that? Who you dealing with like that? And you probably was close to resolving the situation. So that's why, first and foremost, I like to deal with people on a one-on-one. That's why I like to talk to people and not about them. That's another way you have conflict resolutions, because you're going to talk to the person and not about them. And also, if somebody can get you to talk about them, they actually winning too. It don't matter how good or how bad they doing. And really think, if somebody's doing that bad, why would you want to talk about it? If somebody's doing good, it should do one out of three things: inspire you, motivate you, or encourage you to want to do better. Not better than them to compete with them, just to want to do better. That's what's going on. That's what it's about. When you allow how someone else is living their life and moving to get the best of you, I mean, you got to think about it for a second. What does that say about you and your ego and your pride? You got to live your life. Don't worry about how they living. Don't worry about what they doing. Live your life. No matter how good they living, how bad they living. So before I got where I was at in the journey that I'm on, the path that I'm taking, I'm humble and I'm thankful that that was never relevant to me. That never meant anything to me. How good or bad somebody was living. Like how somebody was on it, living. Like, nah, I never been nosy, always mind my business. Like I said, I had other things I need to work on. That's a fact. However, it's also a fact that I never was nosy. I wasn't in other people's business. I never was concerned with someone else's woman or someone else's relationship or someone else's wardrobe. Like I said, it was other things that I did need to work on. But those things that I'm naming, I ain't never need to work on those things. Them things was never important or relevant to me. That wasn't important to me. It's not my situation to worry about it. It's not my situation to worry about that. They gotta live their life. Why am I worrying about it? And I'm thankful that I understand that a lot more better, a lot more fluently. Like, nah, I can't really sweat that. That ain't my situation. That ain't my concern. Because it's not just for me to say it. No, I'm living it. It's not. That's not gonna make my life better or worse to worry about it. No, it's not gonna make my life better. It can make my life worse because I could get into unwarranted conflicts worrying about somebody else's situation. 'Cause why am I worrying about someone else's business? Their man, their woman, what they got in their house. If they got a clean house, a dirty house, clothes and shoes and cologne and perfume, and that ain't my business. Oh, they had that shirt on yesterday. Oh, they always, nah, they kids be looking dirty. Nah, that ain't my business. That ain't my business. Like I don't know their circumstances and situations. So why am I so caught up in it? I'm glad I learned that. Avoiding conflict. So how you avoid conflict? You mind your business too. Stay out of other people's situations. And I learned that. Stay out of other people's situations. Stay out of people's business. They ask you a question, answer it, leave it there. Don't answer it and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's how this, that. Nah. Too much unnecessary information. You got your business, handle it. I got my business, I'm looking to handle it. I ain't caught up in nobody else's business. I ain't gonna do it. Because I understand it ain't gonna get me nowhere. It's just not. And again, I'm thankful I've been that way. Like I said, it's other things that I had to work on. There's still things I'm working on, but I ain't got to work on that no more because it never was an issue for me. So moving forward, I ain't got to look back like, damn, I should have been minding my business. I should have not been nosy. I was never nosy. Ain't my concern. I live and I learn. What the BS people do, I ain't concerned. I'm worrying about me laying in the earth. Like that was something I've been said on one of my songs. I live and I learn. What the BS people do, I ain't concerned. I'm worrying about me laying in the earth. So I don't have to being caught up in someone else's life or their lifestyle. Because like I said, the more you look up to people, people could look down at you. It might not make sense to certain people, but the more you look up to people, the more they look down on you. See, I had to learn that too. You look up to people, they're gonna look down on you because you gotta look up to them. Think about it. You're looking up to them. It's like you looking up the sky looking down at you, looking up at the stars. They looking down at you. You looking up to the airplanes, looking down on you. It ain't personal. It's just what it is. So minding your own business helps with conflict resolution as well. See, the reason why I rarely say on my platform my opinion or let me give my opinion, because I understand my opinion doesn't matter to nobody but me. Truth and facts, it don't matter with how somebody see that. You can't deny the truth and you can't deny facts. See, another thing about truth and facts that I'm thankful that I learned the hard way is that I don't argue with fools because they're going to beat me with experience. I'm going to say that again. Another thing that I appreciate and like about truth and facts that I don't go back and forth with fools because they're going to beat me with experience. See, they know how to be naive. They know how to be foolish. They know how to display stupidity. I don't know how to do that. So what am I doing? What am I going back and forth for? I don't know how to display foolery and stupidity and all that. I ain't a part of the circus. I don't want to be a part of the clown show. I don't want to be a part of the clown show. I'm good. So when the circus come to town, I ain't going to see it and I ain't going to be in it. I'm not knocking those who want to go see it or want to be a part of it. I just know I'm not going to be a part of it. And I'm humbled to say that. And I'm thankful that I see that. I'm thankful I see that. See, another thing about how come some people don't have conflict resolutions because they're around other people who not working on conflict resolutions. So that's why even when you start to work on resolving things, you have to be alone so you can learn how to resolve things by yourself. Because when you get with other people, it's going to be more difficult because even when you learning how to resolve things, somebody else ego and pride going to get in the way. Because like I said, once I started doing that and I was around other people and something like, yo, leave that alone, man. Like, yo, we was in the process of going here, doing this, doing that. Nah, I'm saying they ain't had to say that. I'd be like, you know what? You right. My bad for telling you that. Yo, I'ma holler at you. I gotta go. Why you leaving? Or why you breaking out? Like, nah, you thinking you scared they gonna come back or you worried about them? Nah, I'm worrying about me. And I was about to go too far with telling you how to deal with something. You know what? That was 100% my fault. But I'ma holler at you. Stay blessed. I gotta go. And I seen them after that, like, yo, that day you just walked off, you left. What happened? I'm like, I had to do what I had to do for me. What you mean you had to do what you had to do for you? Like, I'm just not trying to really tell nobody how to conduct themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean you ain't telling nobody? Like, I wouldn't want to give you information you might believe or see as if it don't apply to you. And you know what? I respect that. So I just took off because I didn't want to see myself telling you something and it may have led me and you having words or me and you having an exchange. So you know what? I just took off. And that's another thing about conflict and being able to resolve things, being able to separate and segregate yourself away from things and people. See, another thing about conflict and resolution is that people gonna talk about you regardless. What I'm thankful for, people talk about me, but now I'm happy they talk about me. At least I ain't dealing with them, and at least I ain't around them. See, people get themselves hurt a lot because they still trying to be around and involved with people. And when they talk about them, they're like, well, why would they talk about me? Why they saying that about me? I go to their house, I show them love, I help them, I help their family, I help their kids, or whatever you did. Even with your own family, yo, I love my brother or my sister or my aunt, my uncle, or whoever. I did all that to show them I love them. This is thanks I get. This is how they treat me. That's why people be so caught up because they don't want to be involved with themselves. I'm involved with myself. I know I ain't gonna hurt me. And if I do, at least I only got myself to blame. I'm gonna say that again. I know I'm not gonna hurt me. At least if I do, I only got myself to blame. And that's what's going on. At least I get to blame me. At least I ain't got to say, well, this happened to me because of this person. I gotta blame myself. So if you stick to yourself, when things go down, you get to blame you. You ain't got to point the finger at nobody else but yourself. But see, a lot of people, not saying all, I ain't say all, this whole live stream, a lot of people like conflict. They don't like self-accountability. They don't like self-control. They don't like self-restraint, self-respect. And I'm speaking from experience because I was like that at one point. I didn't like self-control, self-respect, self-awareness. I had to start restraining myself. Like, you know what, man? Nah, I ain't gonna even go around these type of people no more. Know what? I ain't gonna even try to get into relationship with these type of females no more. Know what? I ain't gonna watch these type of TV shows no more. I ain't gonna even do this on YouTube no more. Like, it's just certain things that I tell myself I'm not gonna do. And I gotta criticize myself when I see me slipping into those habits. Like, yo, you said you wasn't gonna do that. Nah, I got to penalize myself. Like, you know what, you did that? All right, well, it's going to be the penalty. You know what I mean? And I'll do something that I know that's going to be difficult. It's like, damn, you know what? I'm going to have to put myself through something that I know is going to be extremely difficult for me to complete or to get through. It's like, you know what? I'm going to have to read this whole book. I'm going to have to do more push-ups. I'm going to have to do more pull-ups. Instead of me walking 10 miles, I'm going to walk 20. Instead of me eating a dessert or a nice snack after I have dinner, I'm going to just eat dinner. I'm going to have to take myself through something to remind me, yo, but you shouldn't have did that. And again, it's not something to harm or inflict pain on others. It's just so I don't do it to myself. So when it comes to others, it won't even enter my mind. I'm going to say that again. I'm doing it so I don't do it to myself. And when it comes to others, it won't even enter my mind. And that is relevant. So I don't have to worry about it entering my mind for it to happen to somebody else because I know I'm going to discipline myself. And when you're working on it, resolving things, you're going to have a lot more problems due to this fact now. This is a fact. Other people aren't going to be used to or comfortable with you looking to resolve issues. They're going to be like, yo, you think you got the answers for everything? And you got to tell them humbly and respectfully, nah. However, this could be avoided though. And if you don't believe it could be avoided, or you see me as looking to resolve an issue and I overstep my boundaries, I apologize. I'm going to let you go. Have a good day. And again, I apologize if I overstep my boundaries by saying what I said and trying to give you information about the situation being resolved. That wasn't my intention. I just didn't want to see no issue or no conflict because I got love for you or I got respect for you. That's all. and you keep it pushing. And should you see them or bump into them and they ask you, yo, what's up? Yo, you still mad? I wasn't mad. Or if they say, yo, you still feel that way? I never felt no way. I just wanted to resolve a situation. It could have been avoided. What else that does for you now, the next fact within that, they see that you consistent about now being able to resolve things or looking to resolve things. And from their perspective now, your energy is still the same. So they don't get defensive when they dealing with you. And that's important because when somebody think or see it as you being defensive, what they gonna look to do? Defend themselves. So now you're gonna get back into another unnecessary sparring match, or violence beget violence again. So if you just tell them, nah, this could have been avoided. This is how you avoid it. Don't say, yo, what you doing? That's dumb. Or yo, what you doing? That's stupid. Or yo, see what I'm saying? This is why I don't like being around people. Nah, because from their perspective, that might be offensive. So if you just be like, look, nah, not for nothing. You going through that? Or you about to argue about that? Look, this is how you could avoid that. Don't even worry about it. And it ain't that you mad at the other person. This is what you telling the person you talking to. You ain't even mad at the other person that's involved with the situation. But this could be avoided. Like, you good. And they'd be like, some of the times they'd be like, no, I ain't really look at it like that. Yo, I appreciate it. And if they not at that point yet, and they not looking for things to be resolved, eventually they'll get there. And if they don't, they don't. But you did what you should have did. Look to bring resolution. That's that. You don't have to cram and ram nothing down nobody's throat or in nobody's life. I had to learn that too. That's why you got to be on your own journey in your own path. And everybody can't come and everybody can't go. And when you get there, you ain't got to scream, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Nah, you know you there. You know you there. I'm not screaming, I'm here, I arrive. Nah. Like I said, you're not looking down the mountain from where you climb to look down on people. You're looking down at your old self. Looking down at your old self. Like, yo, I don't want to be that no more. Nobody on YouTube owe me anything. Nobody have to like, nobody have to subscribe, nobody got a sub. I'm thankful for all the love and the reciprocation, people who show me love back that I show love to, but they don't have to do it. Sometimes I go live, one person tap in. Sometimes I go live, 10 people tap in. Like I said, before I was doing lives, I had a lot more people tapping in. Maybe some of them people will come back. They do. I appreciate it. They don't. God bless them. But that's not going to change what I'm going to do. I don't need a pat on the back or a round of applause. I don't need that. I'm not doing what I do for that. That's again about validation. That's why a lot of people have conflict because they looking for something or someone to validate what they're doing. See, I'm thankful that I'm be me because everyone else is taken anyway. I'm gonna say that again. I'm thankful I'm being me because everyone else is taken anyway. Gotta be you. Gotta be you. And if you don't like the you that you are, you work on a better version of yourself. That's all. Just work on a better version of yourself. That's all you gotta do. Just work on a better version of yourself. And I'm working on a better version of me every day. And it's not because I don't like me. It's just I could be a better version of myself. That's all. I'm gonna say it again. It's not that I don't like me. I could just be a better version of me. And since I learned that and I see that, that's what I'm doing. It's not a knock on the world, society, nobody. Just work on being a better version of yourself. So the conflict resolutions is within you. You your own person. You can resolve things. Like I said, you just have to work on resolving these things for yourself. You don't need other people's validation. You don't. Unless you got a twin, you was born alone. And when it's time for you to go, you're gonna go alone. Ain't nobody gonna go with you. Because ain't nobody came with you. So you came alone, you're gonna have to go alone. Unless you got a twin. Otherwise, and they ain't literally come with you. They probably was born minutes before you or minutes after you. Or seconds before you or seconds after you. Unless y'all connected at the hip or the shoulder, you alone. So you gotta live your life. Nobody gonna live it for you. I mean, you're gonna have temporary people that's gonna maybe attempt to say they're gonna live it with you, but they ain't gonna live it for you. So live it for yourself. It don't matter if people say you're selfish. They're gonna say that regardless. When you in their life and you ain't doing what they want you to do, they're gonna call you selfish. When you ain't spending the money they want you to spend, when you ain't spending the time they want you to spend, when you ain't cooking the food they want you to cook, you ain't watching the TV shows they want you to watch, you ain't listen to the music they want you to listen to, they're gonna call you out. And then when you do everything they want you to do, they're gonna get bored. They're gonna be like, nah, I'm saying you predictable, you're always doing this, you're always doing that. So amuse yourself. How you amuse yourself? Keeping yourself happy. Take yourself out on dates. Cook dinner for yourself. Fix your own food. Clean your own clothes. Do things for yourself. You avoid a lot of conflict. You do things with people, you're gonna go through conflict because it's gonna be something you're gonna do or say somebody's not gonna like. And again, another issue about conflict is that some people take things personal when they dealing with other people and they do things with or for people and they don't like something. That don't make the person that's saying something or react in a certain way, it don't make them a bad person. It don't make them a bad person. That's a part of life. So when you get into yourself, it doesn't matter no more though. See, I'm into life. I'm into me. So it don't matter if somebody dislike or like something, but I'm not doing this for no one's approval. Stop doing things looking for someone's approval. Like I don't do nothing for someone's approval. Hey, what's going on? How you doing? You all right? How's everything going with you? How you feeling today? You okay? Like you can't do something for someone's approval. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Can't do things looking for someone approval because what happens when you say or do something that they don't like or they don't want, you're gonna go through a conflict with them. So if you start doing things that make you happy, you'll see a difference in your life. Gonna have an issue with them. Okay, no problem. You take care of yourself. And thank you for stopping in. Take care of yourself, okay? Like you gotta start coming up with resolutions for these conflicts because they ain't going nowhere. The conflicts are not going nowhere. However, when you start to resolve things, you won't see as many conflicts because you're resolving things. You won't see them because you got things that you're working on to resolve them. Got things you're working on to resolve these things. And you're not worrying about someone else's perspective on it. Not worried about that no more. You're not, because you get it. You get it. And it doesn't mean anything what someone else think about your life and the direction your life is headed in. Don't matter. That don't hold no weight. It means nothing. No validity at all. It means nothing. Can't keep going back and forth with people. Can't keep going back and forth with people. It ain't gonna get you nowhere. People gonna talk. They gonna think what they think, and it's about what you think. It's about what you see. Their vision ain't your vision. Your vision ain't their vision. And if they was you and being in your situation, they probably wouldn't know how to handle some of the things you handle. Vice versa. You was them being in this situation, you probably wouldn't know how to handle some of the things they handle. So why you worrying about being in somebody else's situation? And this is the last thing about conflict and about the resolution aspect of it. Also, a lot of people have conflict because they want somebody else's life. They want somebody else's money, somebody else's cars, somebody else's home, somebody else's relationship, somebody else's woman, somebody else's man, somebody else's wardrobe. People are not comfortable with their own life. That's why so many people look up to other people, celebrities, and they always in celebrities' business and all that because they want their life. They want to live like them and be like them. They so unhappy with their life. They like, all right, I'm gonna follow them around. And it's not literally, it's logically from a mental perspective. Like, all right, the logic is I'm gonna be in a business. That's why I don't talk about stuff like that. It ain't my life. They could do whatever they want to do. Even if I like something they did or do. So even if I like the way they play basketball, I don't care what they're doing when they're not playing basketball. Even should I like the way they sing or rap or dance or they got a clothing line or whatever it is. Okay, outside of that, I'm not worrying about what they're into. I don't care. It means nothing to me. It means nothing to me. That's their life. Why am I sweating their life? They're not more important than me, my life, and what I got going on. They might have more going on. I will admit that, but they're not more important than me. They're not more important than me or what I got going on. They might have more going on. I'm gonna grant that, but they're not more important than me and my life and my situation. I don't care how much money they got. I don't care how many people like they clothes or their music or if they're an athlete or they movies or whatever. Okay, no problem. I ain't caught up that much. Like for me to be overwhelmed and it's like now I gotta report on what they into. Man, I'm done. I ain't doing that. I don't want to be heard that bad. I don't want to be seen that bad. I don't want to be a part of algorithms that bad. I don't want to be a part of that bad. And again, it's not a knock on anyone who does, or want to. That's them. I'm speaking about me and the things that I see from me and my experiences. I don't want to be caught up in that because it means nothing to me. I'm not knocking those who see it another way, but me, I'm good off that. I don't need that in my life. Like I said, they may have something, they may have more things going on, but for me, nah, they ain't more important than me in my life. They're not more important than me and what I got to do and what I got going on. They don't. Is that a knock on what they do? No, it's not. But they're not more important than me and what I got going on. They not. It's not. Look like reporting on somebody else's life and not my own. Nah, man. Nah, man. Nah, I ain't doing that. Like I said, it's not a knock on those who do it. I'm speaking for me and my experiences. I don't care about that. I'm worrying about what a basketball player doing when they're not playing basketball. Never that. I'm worrying about what the singer doing when they're not singing. Never that. That helps me avoid conflict, and that's a resolution for me. That's how I solve things. Avoiding things like that, it means nothing. I'm worrying about them. Acting when they're not making movies. Never that. I'm not worrying about it. Their life not more important than mine, and I'm not for the confusion. Like no, I'm saying no. I'm just paying attention because they did this. Okay, that's what they did, and I'm going through something. I don't want people just because they like me or like something that I do to speculate about something they think they know. Wrong, right, and different. I don't want nobody speculating because nobody literally know. I want nobody speculating about that. So I don't want nobody pre-assuming, speculating on my business, my life. None of that. None of that. Like, damn, like I ain't know people who had that much time to be speculating about what I'm into and what I'm doing. What you into, what you doing, how you living your life. But no, I get it. I get it. It's these people lives that have a little bit of money or status quo is way more important than what you doing. So it's just easy to do that. For me, like I said, they may have a little bit more money, a little bit more popularity, but they're not more important than me. Nobody's more important than me. Nobody. And it doesn't matter how I'm betrayed behind that. Nobody's more important than me. So how I'm gonna give something or someone that's not more important than me more emphasis and more myself? How I'm gonna do that? How I'm gonna do that? I'm gonna give somebody because they got status quo, more emphasis than me. That means I'm a follower. I got my own mind. I don't need nobody to tell me a pair of jeans is hot or a shirt is fire or sneakers look good or a song sound good or a movie is good or cologne is popping. I don't need nobody to tell me that. Man, I ain't into that. I ain't into that. I don't need nobody to tell me that. I'm gonna decide that for myself. I'm gonna decide that for myself. I don't need nobody to tell me, yo, nah, but them jeans is what's going on. Like everybody wear that. Okay, I ain't everybody. I'm me. How you don't want to do that? Everybody else represent with that. I don't. That don't represent me. I represent me. Things don't make me. I make things. Clothes don't make me. I make clothes. Money don't make me. I make it. So that's where I'm at with it. Sneakers, shoes don't make me. I make the sneakers and the shoes. Because without me putting it on, it don't matter how I look in the box or somebody else's feet. It gotta look good on my feet. Clothes gotta look good on my back. The music gotta sound good to me. The movie gotta be good to me. Like, come on, like, man, I ain't on that. I'm worried about, oh, well, I'm saying, yeah, no. Everybody else said these sneakers look good on my feet. Okay, if they don't look good on my feet to me, it don't matter. The shoes don't look good on my feet to me, it don't matter. Everybody can see that your cologne is fire. I put it on me. It might not smell good when it's on me. That's what's relevant to me. Back and tell me, that's a good book right there. I read the book, it might be okay to me. Might be like, yo, that book is a bestseller. How you don't like it? That's just me. I got to be me. That book is the number one seller. What do you mean that book is not good? That's what I said. That's how you avoid conflict, doing you, not worrying about other people and their business and what they saying and what they think. What you think about yourself. You won't even know what you think about you because you worry about other people and then you worry about what other people think about you. That's how people have conflict. That's how you have conflict. That's how you have conflict. You can't come up with no resolution so because you're so caught up in other people and other things and you neglecting yourself. And by the time you find yourself 20 years, 30 years don't went by your life. Been living your whole life worrying about other people and other things that ain't important. It ain't important. Then when you finally find out it ain't important, some people get frustrated. Now they stressed out because they seen they let all this time go by in their life, worrying about nothing, paying attention to nothing. Means nothing. That's how that go. Once you wise up, you like, nah, I gotta wise up. I gotta wise up. I gotta do better. Gotta start doing things for yourself. Stop worrying about other people and other things. It means nothing. Absolutely nothing. And that's going back to how you resolve things, because you start worrying about yourself, trying to resolve everybody else's problems, and you got a bunch of problems. But no, don't worry, I'm gonna help them with theirs. In the meantime, you still got problems. So like I always say, my platform ain't for you. Unsubscribe, don't recommend, not interested. Anybody who was in the bushes, hit that subscribe button, hit the doorbell, so when I go live, that doorbell go off, and you know before you answer your door, you always look through the peephole and make sure that it's me that's live, and we gonna do what we do. All right. So to everybody that tapped in, I appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. And remember, it's gonna always be conflict. However, work on resolutions and/or resolving the issues at hand. I appreciate everybody that tapped in. Till next time, peace and power. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. I'm gone.